Welcome to the Processpro video training series. In this video, we're going to take a look at Internet Lead Management. Internet Lead Management is a system within Processpro specifically designed to handle incoming internet leads from either manufacturers or third-party lead providers. Processpro is able to, when a lead arrives, not only notify the assigned user, but also create a profile for the customer automatically, and the system is built so that you can easily manage and reply to those leads from one screen. To access Internet Lead Management, you have a couple of ways to do that from your home screen. You'll see either unresponded ILM messages up here in red. If I click on that 15, that'll take me to those 15 particular unresponded messages, or more typically, we're just going over to the left-hand side here and selecting Internet Lead Management. Internet Lead Management is a list view. Similar to other list views in Processpro, you have a couple of things here that are consistent through those list views. A date range calendar over here, so whatever I click and highlight, it is going to adjust the date range for internet leads that arrived within that highlighted time frame. We're going to have our various columns here specific to internet leads, a couple of things that would be important: prospect status, active, inactive, buying time frame, etc. And most of these things can be adjusted through the right-click menu. You're going to have things like time elapsed. Now, time elapsed would be how much time elapsed between the time a lead was received and the time an outgoing contact was logged for that customer. Vehicle information, who is working with that customer. We have a couple of columns here: received by and assigned to. For example, a lead could be received by a particular user, but it's a returning customer and they still have a salesperson that's attached to them. We would be able to see that scenario play out between received by, who has the lead, and assigned to, who has the customer. If there's a deal worked on a customer, we'd be able to see any working deal information. There's things over here: disposition timestamp. This is specific to manufacturer leads. So if a lead comes in from, say you're a GM store from GM, this is going to tell us the time that we sent them as far as stopping the clock. So again, automatically by logging a contact in Processpro, we are going to note that response time, that disposition time, stop the clock with the manufacturer, and contact the customer at the same time. With this list view as well, you'll notice when I click on any given customer, I'm going to be able to view their recent contact history down here at the bottom, similar to the same way it looks on the customer's profile. To take action with a customer, for example, this top lead here, I can double click on that lead and I can view that in the ADF lead format that it came in. Any customer comments, however that lead arrived from the lead provider, we're able to view that. Quickly, I could reply with an email right from here. Here's my email compose box. I could choose a template and send, or I could type out my own email message and send that. I would click send. Let's close out of there. The other way that we could actually stop the clock is through logging a phone call. So if I right click, contact prospect by phone, I could dial my customer number, put in my result. Maybe I just left a message, notes, and save. Now when I refresh this list, you'll notice my the top lead on the list here now has a time elapsed, meaning, hey, there was a contact made. And also it went from a bold text here to a regular text. So anything in bold is still right now unresponded to. The way that will work on my home screen now is if I refresh here, you'll see we're down to 14 instead of 15 because we replied to one here. From Internet Lead Management, there's other things we may need to do other than just replying to that lead initially. The right-click menu, just like anything else in Processpro, is going to have the options necessary. Anytime you see a customer on your internet lead management, you'll be able to address any of these issues. Number one, we like to check data cleansing on the way in just to make sure there's no potential duplicate customers in the database. And there's all sorts of scenarios that can lead to duplicates, but we can check that out before we ever contact that customer. Right-click, launch data cleansing. This particular customer, there are no duplicate customers found. Also in this right-click menu, I can reassign this internet lead to another user. So if I'm in a manager's position and I want to give this particular lead to a different user, I will right-click, and under Internet Lead Activities, I can reassign. Simply from here, I can reassign that lead to whichever user I would like in the software. When I click Reassign, it's going to send that lead over to the selected employee. They're going to receive an email notifying them that a lead has been reassigned. And then when I refresh my list, I'm going to now see that employee as the assigned to and received by person. From here as well, you have the option to adjust the status of the lead itself. What can happen is sometimes customers will send in multiple versions of the exact same lead. Well, really that's only one opportunity, and I don't need that listed twice or creating multiple sets of follow-up for that customer. I can actually right-click on there, go to Update Status under Internet Lead Activities, and mark it as a duplicate. Same thing for an invalid or canceled lead. If you see there's no contact information on the lead, it's a spam situation, you can actually mark that as invalid or canceled. Both of these statuses here will actually remove that lead from the Internet Lead Management Board, and it will also send that bit of feedback back to your manufacturer as a disposition as well, just to let the manufacturer know, hey, that was a duplicate lead or that was an invalid lead. That shouldn't count as a mark against either our timing or our overall success rate. We can do that by, again, right-click, updating the status of that lead to a duplicate or invalid. It's important to remember that Internet Lead Management is not necessarily your follow-up screen. These are not tasks. These are specific leads that came in for customers, meaning a customer could have multiple leads on multiple vehicles. Just because they show up on my list of internet leads does not necessarily mean that there's two, like a duplicate profile. It means they've sent in 2 leads. That being said, as we work with these customers, a follow-up schedule is often scheduled off of the date that lead has arrived. So in order to help manage that, our prospect status here, if I right-click and go to prospect status, will actually allow me to either bucket that customer on when I believe they're going to purchase. That will leave the follow-up schedule intact. Or I could go to inactive here, and anything, if they're out of the market, we don't have the right vehicle, or even internet lead with response, any of these inactive statuses basically stop the follow-up activity from generating from the system. And that lets me know that, hey, this is internet lead with response. I have an ongoing conversation with that customer. Let me check my contact history down here and see what's going on. Now, if I need to contact that customer, again, right-click, contact prospect. I could send a text, I could send an email, or make a phone call right from here. Just like any other right-click option we have, we can always get to the customer profile and see what's going on, or add or edit information on that customer profile. Finally, let's take a look at the Internet Lead Management's ability to be customizable for each user. Like other list views in the system, you can actually customize the order of the sortable columns at the top. Meaning, if you wanted to have your received by and your assigned to over farther to the left, the next time I open the Internet Lead Management board, it will retain the order right to left of these columns. Again, these are sortable by any of the columns that we have at the top. We can also customize the data that shows on our Internet Lead Management list view by going down to Advanced Search. Advanced Search offers us a lot of different options on how to slice and dice that data we received, more over than just the date range that we selected on the calendar. For example, lead type, we could sort by sales or service if we are getting service leads, depending on the user that's opening that screen. We could just show active only or inactive only type customers based on this prospect status. So depending on what I want to filter out or any other information that I want to see, I can make those adjustments over here out of Advanced Search. If I want that to load that way every time, I can simply save the default, or I can just hit Search to apply those filters to the current set of data. With that level of customization and the organization overall of the list view, Internet Lead Management allows dealerships of any size to be able to effectively and efficiently manage their incoming internet leads. That has been our video on Internet Lead Management in Processpro. Thank you for watching.